Good afternoon and welcome to the Vox News. I am Adetokunbo Akintayo. South Sudan officially joined the African Union (AU) on Monday as the 54th member of the continent's top body, weeks after becoming the world's newest nation. AU Chairman Jean Ping told delegates of an AU conference in Addis Ababa that the organization had received more than the required number of votes to admit South Sudan, led by President Salva Kiir. The admission follows South Sudan's July 9 independence proclamation in the capital, Juba, after its people voted in a general referendum to break away from the north, a decision accepted by Khartoum. South Sudan's vote for independence was held under the terms of a 2005 peace deal ending a 20-year war between North and South Sudan, in which more than 2 million people died. And President Kiir said he was elated by the support his country had received.
The spontaneous outpouring of support we have received from every corner of the globe has warmed our hearts. And I must thank you, the African Union, for admitting us without any reservation to this body that we are in today. Thank you very much for that. Today, we claim our rightful place among you, and we will join in the footsteps of those countries that went before us to put in practice our ideals in order to realize the expectations of our people for lasting peace, stability, and socio-economic development. My brother, President Bashir, and the Northern Sudanese, I want to assure them that my leadership and the people of South Sudan will live in harmony and fraternity with all of them. I said it.
The United Nations Security Council announced a meeting in Somalia next month with a task of creating a roadmap to peace and stability. During a statement read to journalists at the UN headquarters in New York on Monday, Hardeep Singh Puri, India's ambassador to the United Nations, said the meeting will be held on September 4 through 6. Puri noted recent security improvements in parts of Somalia. Puri also reiterated the Security Council's grave concern about the famine in Somalia. Libyan rebels said on Monday they had seized a second strategic town near Tripoli within 24 hours, completing the encirclement of the capital in the boldest advances of their 6-month-old uprising against Muammar Gaddafi. In a barely audible telephone call to state television overnight, a defiant and apparently isolated Gaddafi called on his followers to fight rebels he referred to as rats. A U.S. defense official said forces loyal to Gaddafi fired a Scud missile for the first time in the country's civil war. The missile was fired on Sunday morning from a location about 50 miles east of Sete, Gaddafi's hometown, and landed east of the coastal oil town of Brega, injuring no one. And according to Colonel Ahmed Omar Bani, a rebel military spokesman, Tripoli has been besieged on all sides.
You have to prepare yourself first, prepare your forces, and then you will take the decision. When? This time, no one knows it except God and then the leaders only. So I don't think so that the whole millions into millions in Tripoli will fight against the revolution. Some of them, as I told you, his guards and the murders, they are involved with him in his crimes. They will fight because they have no place to go.
6 oil tankers carrying fuel for NATO forces in Afghanistan were destroyed in Mosavaga, located in Pakistan's Punjab province, late Monday night. Local media said 7 tankers were packed in a load for 2 days and unknown gunmen opened fire on them. Pakistan's Express TV said 6 of the tankers were totally destroyed, while the 7th one was partially saved by rescue workers. It added that no one was injured in the incident and that drivers, who witnesses said had been lodging in an inn in the parking lot, had fled the scene. Militants battling Pakistani troops in the northwest have frequently targeted NATO supplies that pass through Pakistan. The World Bank has called for individual governments to seek a long-term debt curb to solve the current sovereign debt crisis in Europe and the United States, but said it was too early for special action by the group of 20 nations. World Bank President Robert Zoellick told reporters in Canberra, Australia on Tuesday that it was time to push a free trade agenda, warning against rising protectionism as nations seek to solve their debt crisis. Zoellick also said the appreciation of China's yuan currency would be a positive step towards restoring global economic stability and tackling China's inflation.
This is really at a stage where you still have sovereign governments having to make decisions. In Europe, they do it within a super federal structure. It really is going to be the responsibility of each of those sovereign entities to make the calls about how they're going to face not only the short-term challenges, often assisted by the central banks, but also go to the medium and long term, and that varies by each market. But the circumstances have changed a little bit, and so as China started to worry about its inflation rate, I think that led to some balancing of the consensus in China to move towards appreciation of the currency. That can help deal with some of the inflation rate. It's also a contributor, I think, to some of the stability in the international system.
And finally, an unusually chilly cold front caused snow to fall in parts of South Africa on Monday, bringing joy to some, but causing traffic problems. The main highway joining the provinces of Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal, called the N3, was shut down for parts of Monday morning due to a thick white blanket. The road was reopened in the late afternoon. In Johannesburg, where the snowfall was substantially lighter, residents also enjoyed the rear side, many stopping their cars to take a closer look. Children took the chance to throw snowballs at one another. The cold weather is expected to continue into Tuesday. Well, that's it on the Vox News. We're back with you later. Goodbye for now.